Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Halo Infinite quick play maps, specifically ranking video. I've gotten really into Halo Infinite lately, and Kevin has been playing Halo Infinite for a while now. So we.
I've been playing it since the multiplayer launched.
Oh, okay. I started with
Day
season.
one.
I started with season 5 when it got good. So
Yeah, yeah.
So we decided we were gonna do a map ranking video in the same style as when I did my Overwatch 2 map ranking video. Um, but we're gonna break it down by playlist slash category because there's a lot of maps now in Halo Infinite.
Oh yeah.
And some playlists I play more than others. Like I don't have nearly enough experience of squad battle or big team or duos or whatever to rank those. But I do have a lot of experience in quick play, so we decided to rank these maps. And very up to date. This is as of the middle of season 5. They just added. I don't even think the event technically ended yet, but they just added the 8 Halo 3 refueled maps to the quick play playlist. So we're going to be ranking those as well, since we played quite a bit of those. And Kevin also has more experience with past Halo games, so he can say how they hold up as remakes and shit like that.
Yep. I've played a lot of fucking Halo in the last few years. I think between Infinite and MCC, I have over 600 hours in Halo now.
Nice.
So I'm pretty well fucking qualified to talk about these freaking maps.
Yeah. One other thing that's interesting in comparison to my Overwatch map ranking video is that unlike Overwatch maps, which are pretty much solely designed for the mode they're designed for, Halo maps are a bit more freeform. They're usually arenas that are meant to accommodate a variety of different game types and modes. So different maps are designed for different things, and sometimes not designed for certain things, but they have them anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
evaluating a
So
Halo map is a little bit more difficult in that sense.
Yeah, so like it's going to be ranking a lot of these is going to be based on how it works as a general map and how versatile it is for various game modes.
Yeah.
Um because like if a map is really good for one type of game mode, like if it's really good for objective based stuff like Land Grabber King of the Hill, but it's really bad for Slayer, then like that's going to heavily sway where it falls on the list.
Yeah.
Um Also, aesthetics do play a decent
Yes.
a decent part in this.
Yes.
Some
Just like my
some
Overwatch
like
video, our own aesthetic opinions will also be factored into this pretty heavily.
yeah, some of these maps are pretty well designed, but they have very bland or even ugly aesthetics that
Mm-hmm.
will knock them down a peg or two.
Yeah.
Um, so that does play a bit of a part in it, and also just how often they show up in rotation. But that's heavily dependent on when we're actually doing this video, which is the end of 2023.
Yes.
Uh,
You can see
that
the
is
date in the corner.
subject to
Yeah, you
change.
can see the date in the corner. It's November 28th. Um,
Yep.
so without further ado, let's just get started with the first map listed there, which is Aquarius.
Aquarius is a launch map, so this has been around pretty much since the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's
this was
it's new,
kind.
new to Infinite. It's not a remake of anything.
No, this is a completely original map.
Yes.
They didn't start adding remakes of maps until I think season 3 or 4.
All right.
And the remakes were like they tended to be like heavily reworked anyway. But no, Aquarius is a new map, and it was a launch map. It's actually one of the better launch maps.
Yeah.
I actually love the aesthetics of this. It looks like this.
It looks like a hydroponic slab.
It does, and that's very unique for a Halo. Like that's very unique for a Halo setting.
Yeah.
Because like it has this kind of like greenery lab aesthetic
Mm-hmm.
that looks really nice, and different areas of the map have really clear and distinct markers showcasing where you are on the map. Like
Yeah. It adds
you
all the greenery
you
does
dr-
add a little bit of life to what would otherwise be just
all
a typical UNSC styled map.
all the greenery and also like the plasma energy pools that there are in like the corner rooms, those are
Mm-hmm.
really nice too.
Yeah, yeah,
No, this is a really gorgeous map, and it's also one of the more versatile maps in the game.
yeah.
I don't think there is a single mode I dislike on Aquarius. It's
Well,
really fun for
yeah,
Slayer.
yeah,
I think it's actually one of the best maps for Oddball.
yeah.
Um,
What's
it's
on the what is this map for? It has Slayer, Oddball, I think Extraction. Um,
Extraction, and I believe also Land Grab and King of the Hill.
right. So most of the
It's
big ones. We also
like
we're not ranking it for this, but we also played a duos match on it last night. It's pretty good for duos as well.
it's great for duos, yeah. Like it is a relatively symmetrical map, but like it's one of the best symmetrical maps in the game.
Yeah.
Uh,
That
it's
being
just a re-
Yeah, that being
Go
said,
ahead,
I
sir.
think aesthetically and design wise, it doesn't do anything particularly special or unique or like super. When when I roll Aquarius, I think, oh, okay, Aquarius,
Yeah,
good,
that's
good, good
nice.
map.
Yeah,
But I don't go like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, Aquarius. So I think I'd put it in the doobie vibing with tier personally.
I do be vibing with this. It's not one of my like all-time favorite maps in the game, but it is a nice, solid all-rounder map. It's
Yeah,
very fun.
I,
It's
I,
very fun.
yeah, I don't think never a complaint when Aquarius is rolled. Next up is Argyle.
Argyle is, I believe this was a map that was, yeah, this is the first map that was released with the Banished update.
Hmm.
This is the update that introduced the Banished aesthetic to Forge, and this is actually a 343 Forge map showcasing what you can do in Forge.
Yeah, oh, I
Um,
see. See, I don't
yeah,
even know who the Banished are because I've only played the campaigns of the first two games.
yeah, the Banished are a more recent thing in Halo lore.
Yeah, I'll get there
but
one day.
no, yeah, Argyle is I quite like it.
Yeah.
But I do have a couple of issues though in terms of the long sight lines
Oh yeah.
down the middle of the map.
Oh yeah. This is sniper heaven.
This is a sniper's paradise map, which great if you love using the sniper rifle, and they do spawn with sniper rifles on either side of the map, so that's intentional.
Yeah.
But it's very easy to get picked off from
I've
an off
I've sniped
angle or
him.
just
I've
sort of
sniped
off the
many a
map.
fool on this map. Yep.
Oh yeah, that doesn't make it bad.
No.
For the record,
Yeah.
it just means that you need to play more cautiously and more in the corners and more in like the side hallways of the map.
Yeah.
More than
But because
playing out in the middle.
it is a good mix of a big open area with fairly wide side lanes, so it works pretty well for basically every mode that it has. All
Yeah.
the space occupying modes.
Yeah, I'd say it's a really great Slayer map. It's pretty okay for
I think
for objective.
I think for Slayer it
modes.
could be better because it definitely it's so spaced out that it kind of it's made for that kind of space taking, whereas it doesn't have the intricate pathing of I think some maps that are better for just death matching. Like if you ever
Yeah,
get like
yeah.
Fiesta on Argyle, it's like, what are we doing here? You know?
Yeah.
And also aesthetically, it's nice looking, but it is a little bland. It's definitely like just Halo, you know?
It is. It's all. Yeah. As a banished themed map, it is not the best looking banished themed map in the game. I'll get to my favorite banished. Like in terms of aesthetics, I'll get to my favorite banished themed map later. It's a fine enough map, but it doesn't really excel at
Yeah,
any one
I
thing.
think I put it
so-
in acceptable area. What do you say?
acceptable area. Yeah, I
yeah.
agree.
Argyle, the acceptable area. We love alliteration.
Yes, we do.
Here's one of the Halo 3 maps they just added. Banished Narrows. We get this one a lot.
Yeah. So, Banished Narrows is a remake of the classic Halo map Narrows, which was all over Halo 3. This is like one of the big Halo 3 maps.
Yeah.
This is a very, very faithful remake of Narrows, and I think it actually works incredibly well in the. I actually think it works incredibly well in the gameplay of Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
I have had a lot of fun on Banished Narrows.
Yeah, there's 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 fun to be had here. There's also sweat to be had here. This that might just be refueled in general, but I feel like Narrows especially, and maybe it's just because we played so many matches, we got Narrows so often. But like, it can be a little try-hardy, but like it's definitely a lot of fun.
One of the things that really sells this map for me in Halo Infinite is actually the balance of the weapon spawns, because you do have snipers and bandits on either side of the map.
Yeah.
Or sorry, snipers, bandits, and commandos on either side of the map. Plus, it began with both an active camo on one side and overshield on the other, but now it's both active camo, so it's just equal on both sides.
Yeah.
And you have the spanker in the middle as the power weapon.
Yep.
The mad dash to the spanker is so fucking fun.
Yeah. There's also a Ravager, but I mean, who's gonna go for that?
Who the fuck uses the Ravager, man? All my homies hate the Ravager.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like the design of the map. It's such a simple idea, but it's beautiful in its simplicity. You go high, you go low, you go to the side jump pads, like this, you know.
Not to mention like like it is a symmetrical map, but there is a singular asymmetrical element, which is there are catapults on opposite ends of the map, like they're like diagonal to each other.
That's still symmetrical, Kevin.
Yeah, but like it's
yeah, I get what you mean though.
It's really good though. I love it.
Yeah, it flows very nicely. It depends on the mode, because some modes close the doors for some reason, but there's also the nice sniper towers on the ends. It's a sniper map, but it works somehow. It's not really that frustrating.
Also, as a Banished themed map, it's actually interesting because this is the only Banished themed map in the game I think that takes place in open air, because a lot of the other Banished themed maps mostly take place in like large structures, so it's like closed off and dark. Here it's actually much more open, so there's like a skybox and everything. I actually really like the visuals of this map.
It is nice, although the openness and the fact it's just floating in the air does, like, it screams Forge in a way some Forge maps try to hide. So there is that. It definitely it has that made in a level editor look to it.
A little bit, but that's actually mostly carried over from previous games. That's just the aesthetic of Narrows.
Yeah.
Where would it's
go on?
I have not. I don't think I've had a bad match on Narrows, or at the very least, not a match that I outright hated.
Yeah.
Also, I just love Narrows in general. Like, this is one of my favorite Halo maps ever.
Yeah.
Some people may disagree with that, but, like, this is a classic map for a fucking reason, and I'm super glad it's here in Infinite.
Yeah.
I'm actually I would put this in Primo Kino Destination. It's really fucking solid.
You know, I don't really have an argument against. It's not one of my personal favorites, but it is really good, and I don't really have an argument against that. So yeah, let's put that as our first Primo Kino Destination.
Yeah.
Next up is Bazaar.
Another launch map, interestingly.
Yep.
I can't help but notice that a lot of the launch maps are like right up near the top here.
This is just in alphabetical order, so.
Yeah. Oh, go figure. No, yeah, fucking Bazaar was an early map that came out with the game at launch. Mm-hmm. It has not changed, but I feel like this is a really good map. I feel like this is a really good intermediate map.
Yeah.
You know, once you've gotten accustomed to how Halo operates on like
it's a good
launch site
because the layout is so non-complicated. It's really good for teaching you the basics of all the different kinds of space-taking modes. Your land grabs, your King of the Hills. Is there strongholds on this? I don't actually think so.
I'm not sure.
But like,
think so, no.
like I think I first learned how to play like land grab on Bazaar, and I think it's a good map for that.
This is a great objective map. It's actually very well built for Two Flag CTF. Actually,
yes, we did. Yeah.
This is one of the better CTF maps, which is kind of rare.
Yeah. Two Flag CTF, or as I refer to it, CTF.
Another reason why I really like this map is that like it was one of the first maps that really utilized the traditional like three-layer structure of a Halo map,
Yeah.
uh, and being able to actually utilize that to your advantage on like both ends of the map is very fun, actually.
Yeah. I agree. It is a great CTF map. It's great for objective. It's pretty much. I think it's kind of just average for Slayer as a deathmatch map. It's a little too plain and open.
And I will.
But like for objective, it's great though.
Oh yeah, for objectives this is fantastic. For Slayer, it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, for Slayer, I feel like it has the same issue that Argyle has, where it has far too long sight lines, which makes it a sniper's paradise.
That's also true, but I also just don't think it's windy. And good deathmatch maps to me, it's hard. I think it's hard to make a deathmatch map that's like so structured and symmetrical like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's gonna lose points for that. Aesthetically, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's got that Dust 2 vibes going on. But,
it does. Yeah.
It's nothing outstanding though. But it does definitely stand out in the crowd here. If you look at the C.
Yeah, it's interesting because like Halo normally leans into this like kind of brutalist architecture, like sci-fi aesthetic.
Yeah.
And this is kind of just a bazaar in the middle of like a dusty old town.
Yeah.
So
I do like it. I do be vibing with it. I don't think it's quite
I do.
Primo Kino, but it is really good.
It is really good. It is a solid map.
Speaking of the desert, we're going to Behemoth. Now, interestingly, you have more experience with other modes in Behemoth, because right now Behemoth in Quick Play is only for CTF, which is probably the thing it works best for.
The CTF is the only mode in which I feel Behemoth has value.
Yeah.
Because Behemoth is another one of those symmetrical maps, but like it has these big open areas on the side that you're supposed to use with like
The vehicles.
The vehicles, and it also has like those two sniper perches. In theory, this is a well-balanced map, but the problem is the fact that this is such a big-ass open map, and the fact that there is just such long-ass sight lines, and there is just so much empty space around this centralized structure in the middle, makes playing anything other than CTF on this map boring or a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I imagine Slayer on this map is quite boring.
Slayer on this map sucks. Trying to play objective modes like land grab or King of the Hill sucks because it's way too easy to just grab a vehicle and just bully everybody off the point.
Yeah.
Trying to actually get anybody off the fucking point is a Herculean task on this map, and it's just.
I will say though, I did play Purple Rain here once, and it was pretty fun.
Well, Purple Rain's just needlers all day, every day. So
yeah, but no, like, we were all grappling hooking around and needling.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun.
Oh, that shit's hilarious. Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good for CTF. It has a good flow to it, even if it's a bit big and weird. But for other modes, it was definitely bad. But they removed most of those, or all of those.
Yeah.
It's only for CTF, and I think it's in Fiesta and Infection and shit like that. But yeah.
Yeah, and thanks to that, I would put this in Travel Not Advised.
Yeah.
I don't like this map.
I'd go to Sketchy Neighborhood. Just because I do think it works for CTF, which is again the only thing you can really play it for in Quick Play.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
The fact that they pruned it of so many modes proves it wasn't well designed for them. So that's a huge knock against it. I think the one mode that remains is pretty alright for it.
Yeah, this is one of those interesting maps where 343 was definitely trying to figure out what their design ethos for Halo Infinite was in terms of map design, and this was just a swing and a miss for the most part.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot better.
Now we move on to Catalyst.
Catalyst.
He doesn't remember
Right.
Catalyst.
Yeah, this fucking map. This is also... I can't remember if this is a launch map or close to a launch map. If it's not a launch map, it came out in Season 2.
Yeah.
This is actually another map that I... Something you're going to see a lot in these early maps is that they have these long fucking down-the-middle sight lines meant exclusively for snipers.
Mm.
That said, I feel like this has a better implementation of it because it's perpendicular to... Is perpendicular the right word? Perpendicular to the middle bridge section.
Yeah.
Which actually makes... which I think helps to kind of balance things out a little bit better because you have sight lines down the middle across the bridge, and you also have sight lines down the middle down the sniper perches.
Yeah, there's a lot of long sight lines, but they're very carefully considered.
They are, yeah.
And it's
so
kind of easy
like...
to... It's you have ways to sneak around them, or... there's a lot of different ways to get around this map because it's got many different levels and pathways, and I think there's a grapple shot on here.
This is actually this was probably the map early on that best exemplified usage of the grapple shot.
Yeah.
Just using it to get like to the areas above, because again, this is like another 3-tiered map.
Yep.
Heavily 3-tiered map. And utilizing the grapple shot was one of the most useful things that you could do on this map.
I don't want to...
It's got...
Go on.
I also like the fact that it has the spanker on the map.
That's true.
That's really nice too.
I don't want to spoil my thoughts on this later, but I will say, in terms of design, aesthetic, and readability and playability, I think this is Domicile good version.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is because the middle section is open and you can kind of at a glance sort of understand the general layout of the map. It's not so incomprehensibly huge that it blocks line of sight to all other floors and you can't find your fucking way around, and you're we'll get to Domicile, but I think Catalyst is kind of a better take on that idea.
Yeah, it's still a big map, but it's a big map that is carefully considered with all of its elements working in tandem.
Yeah.
And it's one of the better, more interesting looking UNSC themed maps.
Yeah.
I like it a lot, actually.
Yeah. There's better things aesthetically, but it does have the waterfalls and the sunset and some plant growth and stuff. It is neat.
Oh yeah, when you boot in, you see the sunset like right behind you. That shit's great.
Yeah, and you'll see it a lot when you're fighting over the sniper rifles.
Oh yeah, you will.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and another part of this map that I love is like the little entrances to the bridge are like fucking grenade traps, and it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so chaotic.
Yeah. How do you feel about Slayer versus Objective in this map?
This is mostly a Slayer map.
Yeah.
I feel
That's
it's
true.
good for it's decent for Objective, but this is this is great for Slayer.
Yeah, I think for Objective it's a little spaced out. Like sometimes points will be kind of in obtuse places that are difficult to get to. And sometimes depending on spawn, it could just take entirely. You have to take weird routes to get to them, so I think it does suffer a little bit for Objective, but it is good for Slayer, and I do like playing Fiesta on here and stuff.
Oh yeah, the worst part of this is King of the Hill on this map, because one of the spawn every single time you will get a spawn on the bridge, and trying to hold the bridge sucks.
Yeah, and while it is aesthetically good, it's not my favorite. I think I do be vibing with it.
I do be vibing with it. Yeah. I like it, yeah.
Not bad, good. But pretty good. Next up is Chasm.
Chasm is interesting.
That's a word for it.
I want to like this map more than I do, but
yeah.
This has the side. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say its design encourages a lot of cheesiness. You know,
the biggest problem with this map is that are those closed off areas in the back, especially if you're playing either CTF or especially Oddball.
Oh, CTF sucks because the way the the flag and return points are like up on the thing you can't get to without going all the way around.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just annoying. Because
Yeah.
you got to go all the way up and around to get to the flag, then you got to carry it all the way back around. So it feels like you've made no progress, even though you've been running forever.
Unless you have the grapple shot, but even then, you can't use the grapple shot when you're, holding the flag, and
yeah, it's all right to traverse when you have the grapple shot, but again, depending on the mode, you might not be able to make good use of that.
Or it might not even be there. It might be an active camo instead.
Yeah. And sometimes even just traversing this map means making careful platforming jumps. So, and like it's weird because it's too structured to be super fun in Slayer, but it's also the way it's structured makes objective kind of a pain.
Yeah.
And aesthetically, it's decent look. It's nice looking, but it's just very blue. It's just blue.
And I like blue, but like a lot of Halo's fucking blue.
Yeah. It just feels very
Aesthetically, this is like the most Halo map that ever haloed.
Yeah, this is if you typed Halo to Midjourney, it would give you something that looked like this. It'll either give you something that looks like this, or it'll give you something that looks like the Halo mission from the first game with the forest and that shit. It'll give you one of those two things. Like, I'm putting this in Sketchy Neighborhood. Like, it's just not super fun.
No. Okay. Question.
What?
The thing that kept Behemoth in Sketchy Neighborhood and not Travel Not Advised was the fact that it was actually goods for CTF. Is there any mode that is good on Chasm?
I don't. The problem is no, but also I don't think it's bad enough to warrant Travel Not Advised. You know what I mean? Like a lot of modes don't work super well on Chasm. They're not as fun as they are on other maps, but it's also not like if you're just playing Slayer on Chasm, it's like it's not ideal for that, but it's like it's not horrendous or anything.
Yeah, you're not wanting to fucking bash your head against a wall, I guess, but at the same time you're not having a great time.
Yeah. Like, are you going Travel
it's...
Not Advised on this? Do you like hate Chasm?
I don't hate Chasm, but it's just so thoroughly mediocre.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the thing we're going to be coming into a lot with a lot of these maps is like there are a couple of maps here where it's just like they're not horrible, but the fact that
you know what though, thinking about it though, I'm looking at the whole fucking lineup here and I'm thinking to myself, what maps would I just not want? If I rolled this map, what map would I be actively displeased to roll? And Behemoth is not on that list, but Chasm definitely is.
Chasm is, yeah.
So maybe it is not advised.
Yeah, because like I feel like you have to work on the grading curve of Halo maps, because Halo maps are pretty decent on the whole.
Yeah.
And like the versatility of Halo maps does save a lot of these because they can be great for some types and not great for others. The fact that Chasm is so thoroughly mediocre at everything is really, really standing out here as being just not
That's
good.
true. I think it's worth pointing out that like map makers by and large have a baseline competency. They know what they're doing. So Travel Not Advised is not necessarily an F in the sense of like a complete trash fire. But I think rating it on the bell curve of Halo Infinite maps, it definitely is on the lower end. So, think of this tier list as sort of the 4-point IGN scale,
Yeah. It is in the upper echelon of Travel Not Advised, but it's still a map where it's like, if I spawn on it, I'm going to be like...
Chasm! Alright. That's enough talking about Chasm. Let's talk about Cliffhanger. I love Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger, hanging from a cliff, and that's why he's called Cliffhanger. This one I think was
Sheridan hates Cliffhanger. I love Cliffhanger.
I love Cliffhanger. I don't quite understand why he hates Cliffhanger. I love it. I love this map.
Let's talk about the aesthetics first. It's overcast. I love overcast. It's like the top of these rocky peaks. I love that they made the decision to give it this like weird fall look where like the grass is all like auburn.
Yeah, you got like these fucking there's snow just kind of like dusting everything,
Hmm.
but like there's also like bits of green just kind of like popping out.
Yeah, this might be one of the best, not explicitly snow themed, but like mountain themed maps in like any game
Yes,
I've played.
yes.
It screams mountain in all the ways that make a mountain range beautiful. Um,
Yeah,
Go on.
and it's also got like there are two things that really make this map a lot of fun. There's the middle section with that platforming thing in the middle
Hmm.
where it's uh like trying to defend, like especially if you're playing in objective mode, trying to defend down there, and it's one of those rare things where it's like defending down there is fun, but also trying to get people out of there is like really
Because
fun.
it's so multifaceted, because there's multiple ways in and out. Even the center pillar that forms that ring in the center, you can hop out of it to the top,
Yeah,
or drop down from below.
yeah, you can drop down in there with a sword and just like
Or you
slash
could just
everybody,
or you could just spam grenades down there.
yeah, you can just flood grenades in there.
Yeah, there's
Like
a lot
it's
of
surprisingly versatile.
there's a lot of pathways to get in and out of that.
And the one of my favorite elements is that catapult that launches you from one end of the map to the other.
That's true. It
That's
has a
really fun.
detachment style island with a sniper rifle over there.
Yeah,
That area is fun. Like that's its own King of the Hill zone and whatnot.
but like
Um,
it's also but like that particular part of the map is also well designed to where it's like it has flank routes, so you can like sneak up behind them and take out whoever's sniping over there.
yeah, yeah. It's great for sniping, but it's not too oppressive. It's great for the grapple shot. It's great for repulsor kills. Like holy
Oh god,
shit.
it's so good. It's so good for repulsor kills, dude.
Yeah.
And Fiesta and like stuff like Land Grab or King of the Hill are like unbelievably fun on this map.
Yeah. Like I can't think of anything bad to say about Cliffhanger. I just love Cliffhanger.
It's a great map. I'm putting this in Primo Kino Destination personally.
Yeah, hell
Above it's above Banished Narrows, definitely.
yeah, that's a good point actually. I think yeah, this is about where I'd put it. I put Aquarius over Bazaar, Bazaar over Cataclysm, or not
Yeah, yeah.
Catalyst. Yeah. So yeah, Cliffhanger is a primo kino destination. I fucking love Cliffhanger. Every time I
Oh
get
yeah.
Cliffhanger, I'm just like, ooh boy, Cliffhanger. Um,
Don't mind if I do. I'll have a little.
yeah. On the opposite end is Cliffside. This is Halo 3 remake from the Refueled event. This is the only one that I never rolled. I never got Cliffside. So I'm going to leave it to Kevin to talk about Cliffside and its history and how it's like an Infinite, because this is the only map here I haven't played because it just never rolled for me.
Cliffside is a remake of a Halo 2 map called Lockout.
Yes.
Lockout was brought down in Halo 3 as Blackout. Now it's back here. This is the first time it's been back since Halo 3. So this is one of those like classic Halo maps that is very popular in the it's very popular in the competitive scene. The reason why is because you have a BR tower on one side of the map and you have a sniper tower on the other. It has this middle section that has like two layers that have like multiple walkways that you can walk up and down and in between. It has these side areas. It has these really fun areas on the side and flank routes. It is a really well balanced map, honestly.
Sounds fun. I hope I get to play it one day.
I think you'd actually really like this.
Yeah.
It has been expanded a little bit for Halo Infinite.
Which makes
It has
sense
a
because something we haven't touched on before. Infinite is faster. It has more movement options than past games, so maps have to be a little bit bigger.
for some of the and for some of these remade maps, they do actually rework and expand the play area of some of these maps to include more just more walk area. And they do that a little bit for they do it a little bit for Cliffside. This is a really good remake. Honestly, it is incredibly faithful to how it appears in Halo 2 and mostly Halo 3.
Yeah.
The big difference is that like they removed the over on sniper spawn. You actually could kill people with ice stalactites that were like precariously perched up above. You could shoot them; they'd come down and they'd be an instant kill.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore, unfortunately.
Mm.
But but no, this is a really fun map. The only thing that's really keeping it for me is once again, the incredibly basic UNSC aesthetic.
Yeah.
They kept this very close to how it looked in Halo 3, just updating it for the Infinite engine. It is a really good map, though. I will say it. I think it's really good for pretty much any mode that you can throw at it. It doesn't super excel at anything, but it's really solid.
Yeah. Where would you put it? I'm leaving this up to you.
I would say I do be vibing with it. It's somewhere around Bazaar for me. I would put it like right below Bazaar personally.
All right.
It's a really good map. It's a classic for a reason.
All right. Next, we got one for the gamers out there. We got Critical Dew Point.
This is one of the sweatiest maps in Halo Infinite.
That is absolutely true. This is the map that made me start hating Oddball. No,
which is unfortunate.
When I first played this map, I was getting nothing but King of the Hill, and it was so fun. And I'm like, this is an amazing map. It's got a bulldog. I love the bulldog. You know, it's got good spawns. It's got it's not complicated, but it's got good elevation. It incorporates a little bit of platforming, but it's not like tiring like Chasm. It's got a neat Mountain Dew flavored aesthetic. It is very pro MLG in how it like is laid out and everything. But
yeah,
I think depending on the mode, it's fine.
And green.
Yeah, but then I played Oddball on it, and people just keep hiding in closets and shit and fucking sniping you from 10 million miles away. And that made me like it a bit less.
Yeah.
And I also think for like Slayer and Fiesta and shit like that, it's kind of a basic arena. I think it works very well for like modes like I don't know if it has land grab, but like King of the Hill and shit like that. But when you get Oddball or just Slayer, it's less good.
Yeah, I think it excels enough at certain game modes to keep it above Sketchy Neighborhood. Plus, the aesthetics are really, really fun.
That's true. I think it's an acceptable area. And
it's an acceptable area.
This might change in the future if I need more experience on it. But as of right now, I'm leaning towards acceptable area because it's got some pros and then it's got some cons.
Yeah, acceptable area really is just the middle road here.
Mm-hmm.
Just we don't hate it, but we're not going to complain if we do get it unless it's like, you know,
unless it's
one fucking mode,
like,
or unless
like
it's oddball here. Yeah. No, it's not good for oddball, but it's amazing for like OBJ.
Hold on. Oh, did I forget it? Oh no.
Oh no.
I just realized I forgot high ground.
Well, pause the video pause it real quick. Add it quick.
Hold on, I think I can add. Do I not have high ground? Did I not do that? High power. If I power, I don't have high ground. Fuck. Hold on.
Okay.
To the waypoint. Sorry, I forgot. It's not even the next one, but I need to grab it. I don't think you not go for. I guess that's the only one actually. So.
Yeah, that's the only one.
Yeah, copy that. Oh, there we go. That was easy.
There we go.
I thought I was gonna have to refresh everything. Anyway,
no, we're good.
Yep. Okay. Domicile.
Wouldn't the Dom be a Sile?
Oh shit! He just went there. He just fucking. Oh my god.
I could have done so much better there. That was terrible. I'm sorry.
I feel exploded.
Yeah, Domicile is a remake of Construct, and Construct is bad, and therefore Domicile is bad.
It's enormous. It's confusing. It's try-hardy as fuck.
The thing is, they made it even bigger in Halo Infinite, but like, despite the fact that Halo Infinite is a much faster game than Halo 3, they somehow managed to make it feel even more sprawling and even more confusing than it was in Halo 3. With Halo 3, I could actually figure out where the fuck I was half the time. I really can't in Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
This is... I honestly think they dropped the ball on this one really hard.
Yeah, I honestly feel like it needed tighter design, not looser design.
Yeah, this is one of those remakes that I think really misses what little charm the original had. Because like the original is a fun, stupid bullshit map.
Yeah.
This is not a fun, stupid this is just a bullshit map.
Yeah, you get here and you're lost, and then shit happens, and then the game's over, and you go to a better map.
Yeah. I don't like Slayer here. I hate oddball here.
Yeah.
With a burning passion.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That ball is always falling. That ball is always falling off the edges.
If you lose that ball and die, you're not getting it back.
Yeah.
You are spawning on the other end of the map. Game over. You lose.
Yeah, that's
good day, sir.
Yeah, that ball is going onto the yard from Monster House. You're not gonna die. Yeah, travel not advised. I don't like domicile.
Travel super not advised here. If it were closer in spirit to how it was in Halo 3, I would argue for Sketchy Neighborhood, but I have not had a single good game on this in Halo Infinite. It's travel not advised, unfortunately.
Yeah, whenever I roll domicile, I'm like, okay, for the next 10 minutes, stuff is just gonna happen.
Yeah, it is one of the only maps in this game that I think I roll and immediately just groan.
Yep. And now here it is, everyone. Dredge.
Everyone's favorite.
I get Dredge without fail, every single Halo Infinite session, usually multiple times. I don't know if it's like just super favored statistically or what, but I get it constantly, and I don't hate it. I can't think of too many arguments against it. It's fine, but I get it constantly, and it looks boring. I get there, and I kill people, and I stare at mud textures, and that's it. So I feel very blah about this map. This map that's probably better than I'm about to give it credit for, but I feel very blah about it. Kevin, say things about Dredge.
No, I feel like you've got it pretty much on the money here. It is yet another one of those maps where it's fine for basically any mode that you play it on. I actually think this mode is best for King of the Hill, because like I actually really like that middle section for like trying to hold the hill there.
Yeah.
Because like it has three main areas. It has like one area on either side for the hill, and then it has like the middle area. And those are really fun areas to like try and.
This is definitely like the most literal.
Yeah.
This is like the most literal arena in the arena map genre. This reminds me,
Yeah.
layout wise and like function wise, this map reminds me a lot of Castillo in Overwatch. Where
a bit, yeah.
like it's just a big circle surrounded by high ground, and like that map, that map I believe is like one of my lesser favorite deathmatch maps, and that all carries over to Dredge, where it has a very similar problem of just being very simple. It's just a big pit where everyone fights, but it's not the pit, it's just a pit. And again, I think it's really just the commonality of it, the frequency of it, and the kind of blandness of it that puts me off of it. Design-wise, it's fine.
I think and honestly, if there's one thing that I wish this map did better, it does have a teleporter. I wish the teleporter was usable in more tactical situations.
I do make some use of it when I want to go for the sniper, or when someone has the oddball up there or something.
Yeah.
But it definitely isn't as useful as some other teleporters.
Yeah. Again, there's a later.
I would put this in acceptable area right here.
I would actually put it above critical dew point personally, because like
here's the thing. Here's my argument. Okay, critical dew point makes me feel something. Sometimes that feeling is anger, but sometimes that feeling is joy. When I play Dredge, all I feel is content. I feel. You know that. You ever read Johnny the Homicidal Maniac? And he gets to heaven, and it turns out heaven is just where everyone goes and sits on a folding chair in the clouds and just sits there forever. Yeah, that's how I feel about Dredge. So, critical dew point it can be bullshit sometimes, but it can also be really fun sometimes. It makes me feel something. Dredge makes me feel, well, I zone out when playing Dredge. I'm like,
that's fair.
I am in Halo Infinite mode. I am playing Halo Infinite. I am having an objectively time.
I am having a time. This is the map of all time.
Dredge is the map of all time. It's the fucking 2-Fort of this game. It's the 2-Fort of this game. It's the Ilios ruins of this game. It's just a time to be had.
Yep. And plus, critical dew point has the fucking aesthetics.
That's true. Yeah, critical dew point has Mountain Dew texture, which is better than mud texture.
Yes, I will. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's still an acceptable area, but it's like the lower end of acceptable area.
All right. And next we're gonna rank them together because they're the same fucking map: Empyrean, and the Pit.
So these are both a remake of the Pit from Halo 2,
Yep.
which was remade in Halo 3.
There's also
Um,
you've told me there's a Tenrai one too. I don't know which one that is, but I believe there's a
uh,
Tenrai variant of the Pit.
there is also a Tenrai variant of the. There are 3 different versions of the fucking Pit in this game. I hope you like the Pit. You're going to be getting it a lot.
Yeah, yeah. If you play Fiesta, you can either get the Pit Asian, or the Pit Neon.
Yep, it's kind of amazing.
Here's my
but
hot take though. I actually like Empyrean aesthetically better than the Pit itself. I know a lot of people don't like Empyrean's aesthetic because it looks so different than everything else in the game, but I actually kind of like it.
I think the fact that it looks so different from everything else in the game actually makes it stand out more.
Yeah.
I think that actually makes it much more visually distinct. The thing is, when I first played on the proper remake of the Pit that was introduced in Halo 3 Refueled,
Yep.
I was kind of shocked by how bland the aesthetics were. Because here's the thing. Yes, they brought over the aesthetics from, Halo 2 and Halo 3, but that's the thing. It was just kind of a basic live, fucking military training ground aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like, it's a shooting range.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but yeah.
it's a paintball map.
And I guess there's just something about the way Infinite renders it where it has that grungy shade of military fatigue color scheme that I'm not a huge fan of. So like if you said we can either play on the Pit Asian, or the Pit Neon, I'd go on either of the other ones over the Pit itself.
Yeah, the
But-
thing is,
go on.
Halo Infinite does such a good job of translating the combat evolved aesthetic into a modern graphical
Yeah.
style that taking the original aesthetics of the Pit, which was from Halo 2 and 3, it's fairly brown, it's very earthy,
Yeah.
kind of like, stock military, middle of the desert kind of thing.
Sure.
It makes it look way less distinct comparative to basically everything else, even its own variants. So
maybe we should rank it on its layout's merits and just pretend we're playing an Empyrean.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Layout wise, I mean,
good.
this is another one of those it's a classic for a good reason maps.
Yeah.
It is a nice balanced map.
Yeah, I like going low for the overshield. I like dueling for the snipers. I like the hallways on the other side. It's a good map.
Much like Narrows, it has a really fun mad dash for the spanker at the very beginning
That's
of the
true.
match.
That's also true.
And more so than Narrows, it is a closed off hallway, so it is a grenade trap. Trying to dodge the grenades while also trying to go for the spanker is really challenging, but it's also really, really fun.
It's
I
good.
love doing that.
It's pretty good for Slayer / Fiesta. It's pretty good for King of the Hill and modes like that. It's really good for CTF because the CTF they have dedicated flag rooms and they're pretty good.
Oh yeah, this is one of the best classic maps for CTF, and the strengths of CTF translate over really cleanly here over to Infinite.
Yeah. You got well-designed
And,
flag rooms that are open but not that are closed but a little open. They have multiple access routes. You have different paths you can take to run the flag. That some are riskier, some are safer. Like there's a lot of complexity to the map that works in its favor, especially for CTF. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to Empyrean, at least, I do be vibing with it, and I would personally, I would actually put it above Bazaar. Actually, I actually think it's a little bit. I enjoy it a little bit more.
I enjoy it a little bit more than Bazaar on average. I think I think it balances out a lot of the different modes that it has a lot better than Bazaar does.
Yeah.
And also it just has the much better aesthetics.
Yeah. When it comes to the Pit normally, I would put it in the same tier, but towards the bottom.
Yeah, that's fair. Because like it has the same gameplay advantages as
like it has the exact same layout and spawns and everything. I can't justify putting it on a different tier when it's essentially the same fucking map. I just don't like the aesthetic as much.
Yeah, I can agree there. I can agree.
Next up is Forbidden. We are forbidden from talking about... Wait, No, shit, fuck. Oh,
No,
no.
we have to talk about it. We have to talk about it.
I must talk about Forbidden, because it is actually good.
Yeah, this is one of the newest maps that's been added to the game. This was added very beginning of this season.
Yep.
Season 5, I believe.
Reckoning.
And yeah, this is added alongside another map, Chasm, which we'll get to
No,
later.
Prison.
Prism.
Yeah, we already talked about Chasm. No more Chasm talk.
Right, yeah. No more Chasm. Yeah, this is added with Prism. This is actually this is a really fun little like ruins themed
Yes.
large scale map.
It's
really
aesthetically
like
so beautiful. I had to lower my frame rate to accommodate it.
Yeah, this is a shockingly demanding map for Halo Infinite.
Yeah, I really like the multiple levels and the pathways. Like, it's big and complex without being confusing. It's similar to Catalyst in that way, but I actually aesthetically prefer it a little bit because it's this nice little jungle ruins aesthetic.
Yeah, it's got these nice little sniper areas that are like, again, have really good flank routes, so you can get behind the sniper and take them out.
This is also, I think, one of the few maps where the drop shield actually shines a bit because of the way it's like the perfect width of all the corridors.
It is, and that, especially when you're trying to play something like an objective game mode like Extraction or King of the Hill,
which is another thing. I believe this was introduced soon around the time of Extraction, and it's a great showcase for Extraction.
It really is. This is like a phenomenal Extraction map. Probably my favorite Extraction map.
Oh yeah. I can't think of any. Like, I can't really.
You can really tell this was built for Extraction.
Yeah,
but it also manages to. But it also just manages to do really well on every other mode that it's a part of. It's great for basically everything. It's an excellent all-rounder.
Yeah, when my only complaint about the map is that it's too demanding and I had to cap my frame rate lower to accommodate it without dropping frames. You know, it's a great map.
It's too powerful.
I would put it right under Cliffhanger in Primo Kino.
I agree completely. I love that map. It's great.
Yeah, it's part of the it's half the reason Season 5 was such a great update, and we'll get to the other half later.
Oh yeah.
But first, let's talk about Forest.
Forest is interesting because this is the first map that I ever played Super Fiesta on.
Oh. wait, you're telling me they didn't have Super Fiesta till Season 4?
Yes, it took them a long time to put Fiesta in this.
Oh god, that must have sucked. I love half my fucking time is spent playing Fiesta. I love Fiesta.
Right.
Oh god, Halo Infinite used to suck.
Right. They didn't have any fun bullshit modes.
No, anyway, Forest. So anyone who's seen my Overwatch map video, or almost any of my Overwatch videos, or anytime I talk about maps on Twitter, you'll know I want more naturalistic maps. I like nature. I'm sick of fighting in cities. And this is definitely that. It is a forest. It is a big fucking forest where you run through trees, and there's a little temple. There's a temple on the side, but it's not the main focus. The main focus is trees, baby, trees. Grapple shot off the trees. Go through the big tree trunk. Go to the big mud hut under the tree, the cavern under the trees. Trees. Go for the tree paths. It's like I'm playing fucking Psychonauts in here. It's great. It's like, it reminds me a lot of the questionable area from Psychonauts 2, which is fantastic. Anything that reminds me of Psychonauts is a good thing.
Have you played CTF on this before?
Have I played CTF on this? Well, my immediate reaction is there's CTF on Forest, so no.
Yeah, no. I don't know if it's currently in rotation for CTF, but it's actually very fun for CTF. The layout works really well for it.
Which way do you play it? Like, where are the flags positioned? Is it like temple and not temple, or?
There's one over at temple, and there's one over near the waterfall.
Okay.
Over on that little dirt mound.
Interesting. I almost would have guessed it would have been the other way, and they'd be like the flags would be positioned long ways. That's interesting.
Yeah. Like they're like right outside the temple. There's over on that corner. There's that little landing. That's where the flag is over there, and then there's like the dirt mound.
Yeah, no, I've mostly played Slayer on this, and I believe probably King of the Hill, maybe Land Grab. I don't remember. But like
I've definitely played a lot of Land Grab on this.
Yeah. Forest is really good.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a whole lot to complain about with Forest.
Yeah, it is a rock solid map. I do be vibing.
He does be vibing. Hmm. I think I'd put it at like the top of to be vibing.
I can agree there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, like it is one of the only like really nature themed maps in this game.
Yeah.
And it looks really good. It's a really nice map, and it's balanced. It's fun. It works really well for basically everything. It's a good map.
Yeah.
I like it.
Isolation.
I believe this is another Halo 3 refueled map.
Yep.
This is a remake of what is the original fucking map called? This is a remake of.
Okay, don't turn into Flanders now.
Daddly diddly doodly doo.
Diddly daddly daddly diddly doodly daddly doodly daddly diddly.
Yeah, I can't.
Anyway, it's a remake of a Halo 3 map. Any notable changes?
Oh no, it's just called Isolation. Okay.
Yeah.
They just kept the name. Right,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's the one time they did.
Yeah.
Well, except for
No, yeah.
Nero's, but Nero's had Banished added to it, so you can distinguish it.
Yeah. You know, it's more so the aesthetics than anything.
Anyway, Isolation. It's a map.
Yeah, so this is so oddly this has a similar issue with oddly Behemoth, where it's actually really good for CTF. CTF is really fun here.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say it's as bad with other game modes as Behemoth is, but it's significantly less good.
Here's my anecdote about Isolation, okay? The most fun I ever had on Isolation was getting on the, what is the ground thing? A Banshee, is that what it is? Or the Ghost. The Ghost?
The Ghost,
yeah. Getting on the Ghost and being completely uncontested and just shooting people with lasers for 10 minutes straight, and they couldn't fucking touch me. That was the most fun I had, but guess what? That meant it was not fun for anyone on the enemy team. So...
anyone else,
This map is either you have all the fun or you have none of the fun, or you're just running around getting blown up in like... most of this map below the surface is like navigating like a fucking ant farm.
It is, admittedly.
Also, I don't love the look of this map. It looks plasticky and toyetic. I said this before. It looks like the game show version of Halo.
Yeah, I don't actually like how this translates the aesthetics of Halo 3 to Halo Infinite, because it looks very plasticky and fake. I think a part of that is just the fact that this is a Forge recreation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is definitely the most obvious made in Forge map. I have seen... this was also made by a fan, but I've seen plenty of Forge maps that could almost fool you into thinking that they weren't Forge maps. This map... very obvious it was made in Forge. It is Forge as fuck. It is Forge as fuck. Yeah.
Yep.
Like I don't love it. I think it's not. I think this is like
the biggest issue is that this is one of the most unbalanced maps.
That's also true.
That's the thing that's really getting me about this. So I would put this in sketchy neighborhood personally.
Yeah, I would too. I'd probably put it below Behemoth. I've had better times than Behemoth, honestly.
I wouldn't even. I don't know.
Look, I get it. You're traumatized by Behemoth. It's hard to forgive Behemoth, but I need you to play more CTF on Behemoth and realize that it's not terrible.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Also, Behemoth looks nice. I can't say that about Isolation.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And now let's get to a map that you have much more experience than me on, because they have taken it out of Quick Play. I'm actually cheating here. The next one is Launch Site, which was actually removed from Quick Play. You cannot play it in Quick Play. It only exists in Fiesta and Infection at the moment. And I've only ever played this once or twice in Fiesta. So I'm going to let Kevin explain what's right and what's wrong with Launch Site.
Okay, so Launch Site is another launch map, which...
People were paid to do this.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is a map that was designed... You can tell just by the layout that this is a map primarily designed with one flag CTF in mind. The problem is one flag CTF sucks. So...
Ooh, one flag, ew.
This is for one flag. Because it is made for one flag, it is the worst one flag map.
Somehow, somehow, I don't know.
It really showcases the weaknesses of One Flag. And honestly, I feel like it's also not that great of a objective map either.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is down to the fact that a lot of the areas for King of the Hill or land grab are in that middle lane that goes down the right of that like goes around the side of the map and connects everything.
Yeah.
And it's just very easy to get inside of a tank or get inside of a wraith and just sit on the enemy and just sit on the point and kill everything.
Yeah.
There are weapons that are available for you to take out the there are weapons available that you can use to take out the bigger like the tank and the wraith. You can use the sniper rifle, you can use the skewer. And occasionally the spanker shows up on this map, but not usually. Most of the time I've gotten the skewer instead of the spanker as the big anti-vehicle weapon.
Yeah.
That said, this is actually great for Slayer.
Yeah, I think I said when I first got it when I was playing Fiesta on it, I said this map is so fucking huge. It feels like it was designed for you to have 5 grapple shots to get around with.
It does, yeah. And to be fair, grapple shots are available on this map normally.
Not as many though.
Not as many though.
No, in Super Fiesta you can just fucking Spider-Man throughout the whole fucking map.
This is oddly a map that is fantastic for Super Fiesta.
Yeah, so I'm glad it stuck around there.
Oh yeah, like I feel like.
But for like objective modes, it's.
Yeah. Now, yeah, but we are grading this on the fact that it was originally a quick play map. This was originally, a map that was a mainline.
They expected you to enjoy One Flag on this map.
They expected you to enjoy One Flag.
That was their first mistake. Because One Flag is bad.
Yeah, I feel like we've made that pretty clear. Neither of us like One Flag.
One Flag feels like Halo's answer to something like Payload. Like it's supposed to be an attack defend sort of asymmetrical sort of storm the fortress sort of deal, but it doesn't have payloads, the like self-balancing properties of a payload.
It doesn't, no.
So it kind of fumbles and it just becomes like One Flag, one-sided.
Yeah. One side has the advantage, and it's usually the defending team.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how many One Flag matches I have had where I have done basically nothing and lost.
Yeah. And aesthetically, it's fine. It's pretty good, actually. As far as like UNSC aesthetic go, it's actually pretty nice. I like that it's nighttime. I like that. I like the idea behind the launch site. And again, I want to point out, because we haven't talked about it enough, even though this was like your chief complaint whenever you ranted about it in a call, but it is fucking huge for 4v4.
It is fucking huge. It is a gigantic ass map. Although I do like the flank routes on the side and the back rooms. I do like those.
Yeah. I would be interested to see, I don't know how much reworking would be necessary. It'd be interesting to see launch site reworked for something like squad battle.
I feel like this would be really, like this feels like a really good map that I feel like this would be really good for 8v8.
Yeah. Now what objectives you'd have there, I don't know. But I'd be interested to see that experiment. But where would you put launch site? You have way more experience than I do.
I mean, because we're grading it on how it originally worked as a quick play map, that's the biggest issue. What it was built for, it sucked ass at the most, and it's not the best for, like, the only thing it's really good for is like Slayer, and I guess fucking Oddball, maybe. It's not bad enough to put it in Travel Not Advised, but I would put it at the bottom of Sketchy Neighborhood.
I see.
Just based on the fact that it is good at basically one game mode and not really excelling at anything else, or it's just shit at some of them.
It might rank higher when we do our Fiesta tier list, but for right now, Sketchy Neighborhood.
Yeah. Yep.
Which brings us to Live Fire.
This was probably the best overall. This is one of the best overall launch maps of the game.
I disagree.
In my opinion. Oh, do you?
I have one that I like better.
Oh, you do.
But I'll
Do
save
you?
it.
Okay, we've not already talked about it.
No, we have not already talked about it.
Okay.
But Livefire is really good.
Livefire is a really damn solid, really damn well balanced. I believe this counts as a 3-lane map.
Yeah.
This is a really good 3-lane map. The area down the middle with the sniper in the middle, that's really fun.
Sometimes the skewer's there.
Sometimes the skewer's there. You know, again, it's one of those. You know, it's got the same strength as the hallways in the pit, where it kind of becomes a grenade trap. So dodging grenades while also trying to get the power weapon.
Even just for
I always really like that.
It has as a Slayer map. For Slayer, it has a nice flow to it, where everyone's sort of flowing in these nice, like, almost figure-8 patterns across different lanes.
Yes.
It's really nice, and they did the impossible, Kevin. They made the UNSC aesthetic interesting by inverting its color scheme.
Yes, they did. One of my favorite parts of this map, I think the big thing that really helps bring this map together is that little vent right in the middle, right next to the sniper spawn, where you can go down below. I think that's really the one point that brings the map together, because it allows you to duck and weave in and out of like the top and bottom really fast.
Yeah.
Because you can go down to those caverns and either go back into the main live fire range, or you can go out into like the open area.
Yeah,
really quick.
It's got it all. It's got lanes. It's got a tunnel. It's got a tower. It's got a back area. It's got that back area to fight in, where it all kind of conjoins. It's got open areas. It's pretty to look at, which is amazing for a UNSC aesthetic map.
One of my favorite parts of the aesthetic of this map is actually the out of bounds area out in the open area, where there's just like this like watery, swampy marsh area, and getting knocked out of there is just like okay.
Yeah, like I feel like they took the basic concept of like a training area map and actually like made it their own and made it very unique from that. Like, if the pit default is ugly, this is like the pit but pretty. It
is really telling that in the tutorial for Halo Infinite, this is the map they put you on.
That's true. I really enjoy Livefire, and I would put it right below Forbidden, but above Banished Nero's personally.
Yep, this was the map that was designed to showcase the greatest strengths of Halo Infinite as an all-rounder map, and as an all-rounder map, it is one of the strongest out there. It really is.
But you know what else is strong, Kevin?
What else is strong?
In my opinion, anyway. The next map, it's called Prism, and it's great.
Prism is so fucking fun.
First of all, let's just talk about it conceptually, okay? The fact we finally... To me, it has a Toad's Factory style appeal. You know, where like Toad's Factory is like, we're racing in the factory where they make the item boxes. We're racing in the mines where they make the needlers.
Where they make the needle for the needlers, and the power weapon on this map is the pinpoint needler from Campaign and Super Fiesta, which is one of my favorite weapons in the game. It's so good.
It's so unique. Nothing quite plays like Prism, and it's like,
It really doesn't, and it's like, I don't think this is a completely asymmetrical map as well.
Yes, and that's also why I love it for Slayer and Fiesta, is because it has a lot of deathmatchy sort of weaving up and down different. It's not symmetrical. There's like small advantages and disadvantages to be had with your positioning, which I think is important for a really good deathmatch experience.
One of my favorite matches I have ever had on this was actually when we were playing team doubles and we had to do King of the Hill.
Yeah.
And like it was really just down to us trying to prioritize the power weapons while also trying to keep them off the hill. And a lot of that was just trying to figure out, okay, do you have the pinpoint needler? I don't have it. Okay, they have it. Kill them. Okay, that's coming up soon. Go grab the pinpoint needler. Okay, you have it. I'm gonna try and stay here on the hill. I'm gonna go try and grab one of the other power items. Like,
the energy sword. It's like I like the energy sword on the bridge, where like you can only access it from one side unless you have another item like a grapple shot or something to get you up there. There's a lot of like self-balancing factors, and positioning is super important. on
Yeah,
Prism. It's it's conceptually brilliant, it's aesthetically brilliant, design-wise it flows really nicely.
This might be the most beautiful map in Halo Infinite, and
It definitely has the most pretty skybox, which leads to my only complaint with this map, which is that because it's in a mine, you can only see the skybox if you're near the edge of it. But the skybox is so beautiful, it's been the main menu. It's like the main login menu background now because it's that pretty.
Yeah. Another element of this map, like in terms of aesthetics, that no other map has, is because you are inside of the mines, where the needles are.
Mm-hmm.
There's like energy in the air, so
Yeah.
whenever you shoot somebody, their armor actually glows much brighter on this map than on any other map.
That's true. Gotta make those cosmetics pop. You're paying dollar for those shits.
Which is such a great environmental detail, and I love that part of Chasm so much. Say, Chasm is so fucking good.
Chasm. Prism.
Yeah. Why do I keep saying Chasm? Kill me. Anyway, Prism.
He's got
Prism
Chasm
so
brain rot.
good.
Chasm is infecting his mind. It's like, oh,
I've been playing on it too much.
The sheer dichotomy of isms in Halo Infinite.
Ism.
Anyway, Prism, like we already know it's going in Primo Kino. The only question is where. I would put it like between Cliffhanger and Forbidden.
I can absolutely agree there. I actually like it a bit more than Cliffhanger, but I will defer to you on this. It is your list.
Yeah, that's also... I think I just want it next to Forbidden to show what a knockout Season 5 was. You know?
God,
what
really
a double whammy of a debut. It's like, Forbidden, bow. Oh yeah, left hook, Prism. Oh, map brilliance. It's in my face.
There's a reason there's a reason why Season 5 is the point where people came back in droves to Halo Infinite, and these two maps are two of the biggest reasons why.
Yeah.
They are amazing maps. They're some of the best maps in the game, period.
Yes, and I love that because they're new, they're weighted heavily, so we get them quite frequently, and that's very fun.
We are, yeah, and I love getting Prism. Prism is so fun. It's gonna take some time for me to figure out where Prism, like, to see if, like, the luster of Prism eventually, peters off. But right now, I'm in the honeymoon period.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous map. It's balanced. It's fun. It's asymmetrical.
Yep.
It's got great environmental storytelling. It works itself into the lore of Halo.
It's technically a minecart level, finally.
It technically is, yes. There is a minecart in this.
One of the points for control modes is actually the minecart. You could, like, hide behind a minecart.
Yes,
Sweet.
yes, that's actually one of my favorite things, and it becomes a grenade trap!
Yeah, and the path where the skewer is on is, like, literally an elevated minecart, mine track.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And there's, like, the one cave where, like, it's, where some grenade type is in there, but, like, it's an entire cave where top and bottom, it's all crystal. Fantastic.
Yeah, and there's this, and there's like this chasm that you can like jump across.
Oh, chasm!
To get to, like, the other end.
Oh, no!
Oh my god!
Okay,
chasm positive.
just say gap. There's a gap.
There's a gap. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Have I mentioned that I love Prism yet?
Yeah. What's your favorite Baka Gaijin video? I like the one where they talk about Prism for a long time. Anyway.
Well, at least it's fucking, like, justified.
That's true. And now we're getting to Recharge. This is the map I like better than Livefire. I really like Recharge.
I can completely understand, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Recharge is probably one of the... It is, in my opinion, one of the best objective maps in the game.
Yes.
Now, Mike hates the fucking... He hates the fucking, like, hallway over on the left.
with the tiny fucking extraction zone, yeah.
Yeah. That said, I will admit, because of that one area, this is probably one of the worst maps for Oddball, because, like, it's really hard to dislodge anybody from that particular area. Like, if someone just sits there, like, they're gonna cap the ball. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but,
a little weak for Oddball, but I think for Slayer and Fiesta, it's fantastic. I think for Extraction, it's really good.
For Extraction and, like, land grab and Strongholds is really good on this, actually.
And like it's UNSC aesthetic, but it's unique. It's got like unique elements to it, with like the big fucking reactor thing in the center.
Oh, the big fucking reactor, yeah.
The big cylinder. And one of my favorite aspects of this map is the fact that it's got that like pale gaps through the ceiling lighting that defined like Unreal Tournament 3, which is I love the aesthetic of that game, and like some of that energy. There was a moment when I was playing Super Fiesta on Recharge where I was just like, I feel like I'm playing a better version of Unreal Tournament 3 right now. And I have such fond memories of that, and to have that experience again is fantastic. And that was on Recharge. Recharge is really good.
Recharge is also one of the maps where the power weapon is actually the gravity hammer, and that is in the reactor room.
Yep. And it feels.
But the way that it's positioned is that you have to jump over a gap where down below it's just like a bunch of like plasma energy that you could die to.
That's also true.
And trying to actually get over there, grab the hammer, and then jump back to use it is challenging. Like that is like it's not like if there is a skirmish happening in the reactor room, it's not super easy to get that gravity hammer.
Yeah, it's well balanced, and I like how it flows with the walkways and the side hallway and the big back room with the big like shipping container like things in it, to the lower areas near the reactor where like the quantum translocator is and shit, into the big cylinder with multiple entrances and exits.
Interestingly, that originally was not where the originally that was not a quantum translocator. Originally, that was. I believe that was originally a... Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that was originally active camo.
Yeah, I think when they introduced the quantum translocator, it replaced several previous camo places. Because if you think about it, they're kind of similar gears, equipments.
Yeah,
so it makes sense to soften those.
The overshield is actually in the middle area. It's like that hallway where the active camo is. Yeah.
I think those are probably the two. Those are the two equipments I would probably pick for a map like this. I think they both work really well for it. I would put Recharge. I
feel like it's at the very least on par with Live Fire.
Yeah, I put it like right here.
At the very least. Yeah, I can agree there. I will say it's much more aesthetically pleasing than Live Fire. Mm-hmm. But I think Live Fire is a bit tighter and more well-rounded of a map.
Yeah.
Well, I think it evens out.
We can differ a little bit. We can agree that they're both very good launch maps.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like these are the two maps where like you were having a good time generally on these.
You could see the sprinklings of potential in Infinite. You could be like, this could be a great game one day, perhaps 4 or 5 seasons later.
Yeah, these are the two maps where you can see the spark of what 343 was going for here.
Yeah.
It took them 2 years to really refine it.
Yeah.
But this is where you could really see the vision.
Right. And now, Salvation. Will we find Salvation on Salvation?
Well, I will say, this has my favorite banished aesthetic of the entire game.
It is true. Oh, actually, you know what has a better... I don't know if it's banished, but the Husky Raid map Diminished has the same kind of look to it.
It does.
I think that one actually is a little bit prettier than Salvation, but Salvation is unique.
Yeah, Salvation is... let me double check this.
I think Sarah told me it's a remake of a Halo 5 map, I believe.
Yeah, I believe this is a remake of a previous map, but I don't think I ever played on that one, so here it is instead.
Yes. As I referred to it before I knew its name, the one with the 3 fucking things in the middle.
Yeah.
That you bunny hop between because it's fun.
Yeah, it's very fun. This is also, I think, the map that I think best utilizes the transporter.
Yes.
Because it does a really good job of like getting you from like the lower area to the higher area, but like it brings you up to that area where you have to jump between the pillars. So it's like very precarious trying to actually get across there.
Let me break it down. Let me break it down for you. Okay. So Slayer on this map, good. King of the Hill on this map, good. One Flag on this map. Why do you do this to us, One Flag? Why do you gotta take good maps and ruin them?
Why? Just 343.
Yeah.
Let me level with you.
Yeah, okay.
Please remove one flag.
Well, if we
That mode can go.
here's the thing though, if they remove one flag, what does high ground do?
Fuck!
Anyway.
Oh man, we're gonna have to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. Anyway, Salvation.
It's good most of the time. I think there's certainly some modes that work better than others. It's also not my favorite aesthetic. It is good, but like it's not peak. You know, it's no Prism.
Yeah.
But I think most of the time I do be vibing with it. I would put it right around Bizarre, I think.
I think that's a good enough.
Do you
place
like
to
it?
put
Do you like it better or worse than Cliffside?
I think I like it a little bit more than Cliffside.
All right.
I feel like this one excels in a couple places a little bit better than Cliffside does at what it does. Cliffside is another one of those like all-rounder maps.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good.
Solitude.
This
is a remake of Halo 5's Plaza.
Yes, it was. Solitude is an interesting map.
Solitude. I don't have great arguments against Solitude, but I feel like I don't have as much fun on Solitude for some reason.
This is a map I feel is another one of those like very sweaty. This is another one of those like very sweaty maps. I feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of tight corridors. It's a lot of maneuvering around. It's, you know, you got to be very precise, and you got to utilize power weapons and power items very, very effectively on this map in a very like tightly designed way. It is a good map, but you're gonna sweat hard on this map basically every time.
Yeah, and I don't know
that doesn't make it
why.
Bad.
I don't know why.
I'm not sure why either. Yeah, I'm not sure why either.
And like, it has that similar problem as Dredge, where it also just once you get it, you just keep getting it.
You keep getting it, yeah. I feel like it's better than Dredge at the very least.
Yes, I do think it's a little bit better.
Because it's actually well designed.
Yeah, I feel like it's better than Dredge because it's a bit more interesting design-wise, and also the aesthetic, while still a little drab, is not just literal mud textures. It's a dusty old fucking like place. You know, it looks like I'm an archaeologist and I'm discovering something.
Yeah, it's like an old abandoned building kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun.
With a perfectly functional modern vending machine in it for some reason. I don't know what that's doing there. I don't know. Like, objectively, it's probably well designed and everything, but I feel like as I just don't have as many good experiences here as other maps. I'd put it in an acceptable area. Probably like right below Dew Point.
Yeah, I'll say I have a better response to it than
But it and Dredge kind of occupy the
yeah.
same space in my mind.
I have slightly more high opinions of Solitude than I do Dredge, though.
Yeah, I agree. Now Starboard. Starboard. It's pretty good for capture the flag.
I actually think this excels the most as an oddball map.
Yes, it does have yeah, although you can definitely get like you can definitely get the ball stuck in the big pit, like trench down there. Which is a little annoying. As everyone just kind of funnels in and dies and grabs it for 2 seconds and dies and then funnels in again and dies.
Yeah. This is this is a pretty fun like circular arena map.
Yeah. This is,
I don't think,
weirdly enough, one of I think the only fucking one of these maps, these core maps, to actually be in space.
That's true. Yeah. Like it's one of the few.
Which is weird. There's other like. There's a lot of Forge maps and some in Fiesta and shit that are in space, but like as far as like core quick play maps, this is like the only one where you're actually in space somehow.
That's a really good point. Yeah, like oddly enough, there aren't a whole lot of very space or spaceship themed maps in Halo Infinite. I think that's probably the thing that's
I can think of a couple. Yeah, I can think of a couple Forge maps I know of that would be good for that if they want to add those. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Wink, wink. We have a video coming out soon. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Maybe even 2. Maybe I have enough maps for 2 videos. You never know. I know,
I mean,
but you
there
don't.
are a lot. I mean, to be fair, there are a lot of Fiesta maps.
Maybe I've already made a fucking thumbnail for one of them. You don't know. I mean, they don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
but as far as Starboard is concerned, it's fun. I don't think it blows my mind, but it is fun.
It's a goddamn good map.
It's good for oddball. It's good for CTF. I guess
yeah.
I guess you can slay people here if you want, if you feel like it.
Um,
That said, it's not exceptional. I think I put it like at the top of acceptable area. Maybe the bottom of Doobie vibing with.
I put it at the bottom of Doobie vibing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I'll put it above the pit since it's prettier in the pit.
It's prettier than the pit, but I think it's it's prettier than the pit, but I think the pit has better like overall layout and design.
I
but
agree.
At the same time, there is a prettier version of the pit, so that's taken care of.
Yep. The pit premium.
Yep.
Next up, Streets, yo. Streets.
I like Streets.
I like Streets.
Yeah, Streets is good. This is another one that's just a really solid ass map overall. Can't really think of anything like especially bad to say about it.
I know a lot of people don't like the spawns on it. Do you have anything to say to that?
The spawns are a bit janky, I will admit.
Yeah.
They can it feels like it does either put you right next to an enemy and you can just immediately die, or it puts you way the fuck too far away from either your teammates or the enemy, and it just takes you forever to get anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a placement issue or like an algorithm issue or what, but yeah.
Yeah. That said, I can't think of any apart from the spawns. Like, I feel like the spawns are the only thing about this map that really like drags it down.
I strongly associate this map with strongholds because for a long time it was the only map I'd ever get strongholds on. And I do think it's really good for strongholds. And it's also strongholds is a great demonstration of why Streets works.
Yeah, because like the reason why Streets works is like strongholds is a mode where you have to rotate, rotate objectives consistently, and the like kind of circular 3-lane design of Streets makes it very easy to do that, and kind of like jump in between.
It feels almost I don't know if it was, but it feels designed around strongholds. Like if we suddenly, they'd never do this, and there's no reason to do this, and it's stupid. It would be stupid for them to do this. But if they ever did, like, if they ever decided, okay, Halo maps are going to follow Overwatch rules now, where like they're for one mode only, they're only for this mode. I feel like Streets could only be played in strongholds, and it would be like the best strongholds map.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Yeah, but don't do that. That's stupid.
Don't do that. That's stupid. But like, this is probably the best overall strongholds map.
Yeah.
By a fairly decent margin.
Would you ordain it with Primo Kino?
I feel like the issues with the spawns aren't bad enough to keep it out of Primo Kino Destination. And it was one of the most visually striking maps at launch, and I think it still holds up pretty well aesthetically.
That's also true.
Like just those wet city streets and the neon lights just look so fucking nice.
Yeah.
I would put this probably.
I put it between Live Fire and Recharge. What do you say?
I agree.
Right there.
These are the good launch maps.
Yeah. So we could talk about Sylvanas next, but let's talk about High Ground next instead.
Yeah, but like I want to point out, as you can see here with the way that we have put the launch with the the launch Halo Infinite maps, launch Halo Infinite had some really high highs, but some goddamn bad lows.
Yeah. No, our
it was all over the place.
Yeah. Right. So let's talk about High Ground and why we hate one flag.
This is
the most one
flag.
This is the most one flag ever one flagged.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's oddly, I feel like this is one of those. This has the opposite problem of. This has the opposite problem of launch site. With launch site, it's way too easy for the defending team to defend the flag.
Yeah.
In this one, it's way too easy for the opposing team to overpower the defenders.
Yeah. And also,
like
no.
The thing is, The thing is, they try to balance it by having that barricade right in the middle to try and shut them off. But the thing is, the fucking ghost can just go over it by using the fucking stairs.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
This map feels like it was designed solely around the concept behind One Flag, which is we are storming the castle. This is D-Day, boys. Let's storm the fortress. And it's like, that's fun when you have... That's decently fun when you have really well-balanced teams, like, just duking it out and, like, having that nice midpoint clash, and you're barely getting in, you're barely getting it out of there. In ideal circumstances, that can be fun. That's not every match, though. And
it's
again,
not every match.
And also, this map was so tightly designed around One Flag that other modes just feel like, what are we even doing here? Like, why are we not capturing a flag?
Yeah, because, like, the thing is, if you're playing Slayer on this, you're not even using the stronghold area of the map. You're basically just out in the field 90% of the time.
It's not well designed.
You're out in the field, or you're either out in the field, or you're in that little bunker area off to the side.
It's so specifically designed for that Storm the Fortress One Flag design that it fails at everything else. The best thing it does is One Flag, and One Flag is One Flag. And also, I feel like this iteration of the map is kind of gaudy looking, honestly.
It really is, because, like, the beauty of this version...
I'll tell you one thing. The worst looking frame in this game is that starting camera pan when you get that tiny fucking ugly rainbow on the little waterfall next to all that, like, really overly brightened stick texture and shit, and it looks so ugly. Yeah. This map is ugly. Like, I'm sorry to whoever made it. I'm sure they did the best they could, but it looks ugly.
Yeah, this is also the ugliest version of this particular map. This map feels better to play in other versions of Halo as well.
Yeah.
I don't like this very much, unfortunately.
It also feels like, so, like, a lot of Halo 3 maps are timeless and they carry forward without much problem if you just tweak them a little bit. This feels like it's from this one map in this pool of maps feels like it's from an entirely different generation of game design.
It really does. Yeah, this really does showcase, like, that early to mid-2000s kind of multiplayer game map design, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
This is over-specialized to a very unfortunate degree.
Yeah, there's potentially more fun than Domicile, but I'm going to put it, like, in front of Domicile.
Yeah, I can agree
there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as well designed as Chasm. That's a statement. That's a sentence.
Chasm has good elements.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So, like, when you get an ideal balanced match of One Flag, this is probably the best One Flag gets. But it's still One Flag, and nothing else works on this map but One Flag. So poopy. But at least But at least I can find my way around, unlike Domicile. So
true. God. Fuck Domicile in this game, dude. God.
Is Domicile the worst map in the game? Have we discovered this?
I think it is. Yeah. Congratulations, Behemoth. You have managed to climb above my ire.
And finally, we have Sylvanas, a remake of something. What was it a remake of?
This is a remake of Guardian from Halo 3.
Right. Sylvanas. It's nice. It has a unique layout, a good layout. It looks really pretty. It's in a forest. It's all green. It's a forest, but it's a different looking forest than forest. Yeah. This is like dark forest, and forest is forest.
What I love about the aesthetics of this map is it's very much industry overtaking nature.
Yeah.
And that is such a fascinating visual aesthetic, and this is true of the Halo 3 version of Guardian as well.
I think Sylvanas is peak Halo aesthetic because we just planted a fucking, like, pre-made military installation on top of a forest, so we got, like, pine trees poking through the walkways and shit.
We did.
And we got this, like, almost alien fog rolling in over everything. It's great. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah, I love it. This is also the remake. This is also, I think, probably the best overall Halo 3 map remake aside from Banished Narrows, because, like, Banished Narrows is just Narrows. It's just got a Banished theme. This actually does expand the playfield of Guardian a little bit to give more area on the floor, like give more area on like the dirt floor of the map. It gives some extra areas. It added some extra flank area, like some extra like flank areas going around back. One of the places where the hill spawns, like right off near that catapult area, is actually significantly less closed off than it was in previous games. So it actually becomes significantly more challenging to keep that particular point in a good way.
Yeah.
This is an excellent remake that I think does a really good job of taking the core of Guardian, but expanding it and reworking it to really play to Halo Infinite's strengths.
Yeah.
It's very, very visually appealing. It's like you said, it's kind of peak Halo aesthetic. This really does have that look of, you know, an alien installation just overtaking nature, which is you know a big thing in like Halo CE, and I think it really translates well here.
It's got a fun layout and design. Like pretty much every mode works for it.
Super fun. Oh, super fun. And like I love the grav lift over on one end of the map, and how it can be like it is really fun to like throw grenades up there, same as it was in Halo 3. So even the appeal of this map from Halo 3 has been like perfectly kept, but like updated for the new game.
Yeah.
I can't think of a single bad thing about.
No, I think I think
Sylvanas.
this is the best map in Refueled in this package.
Definitely.
I would put it between Recharge and Streets personally.
I completely agree, because the thing is, I like Streets aesthetically a little. I think Streets is more aesthetically. Streets works because it's not what you would expect from Halo.
Yeah.
Sylvanas works because this is peak Halo.
This is true.
Like, they're both amazing aesthetics, just for very different reasons within the same franchise. But they're both like super tightly designed. And again, Guardian is such a classic fucking map. There's a reason it is one of the most iconic maps in Halo, and there's a reason they brought it back. People love Guardian, and Sylvanas is just such a great translation of everything that made Guardian good.
Well, hot damn Skippy, son. That's a wrap. That's a wrap on that. We just ranked every quick play map in Halo Infinite. That was a lot, and so many of these memories we have.
The thing I want to point out here, there are way more maps in Doobie Vibing With and Primo Kino Destination than the other 3 tiers.
This is true.
It really does showcase how good Halo Infinite's map variety is in general.
Yeah. It's true.
And like the aesthetics for these maps, like just looking at, like, you could just look at all of these. They're so varied. Especially, like, this may be the most visually varied Halo game ever.
Yeah. And it'll probably continue getting so.
Oh, definitely. Because, like, there's so many different things that they add to this game in terms of new aesthetics. Like, there has not been a fucking Halo game with a Japanese aesthetic. I know we didn't rank any Japanese-themed maps here, but, like, the Japanese-themed maps are also phenomenal.
That's true, and I have a bunch of Forge maps to show you in another video we're going to be doing soon.
But no, yeah. If there's any big takeaway from this particular video, in terms of quick play maps, Halo Infinite has come by leaps and bounds from its early days as being, you know, a lot of really high highs and a lot of really low lows.
Yeah.
To being a really nicely balanced experience that has a lot of really good, really solid maps that balance out to create I feel like a nice overall experience.
Yeah, I agree.
Halo Infinite has come by leaps and bounds, and this is kind of the tier list to showcase where it is now and how much better it's gotten over time.
That's true. Yep. I'm having a great time getting into Halo Infinite. And I want to stop making this video and go play more Halo Infinite, honestly.
Hey, me too.
Yeah, and we'll be back with other Halo content since I guess I'm a Halo guy now. So, yeah, look forward to that. I hope you enjoyed this tier list. We're gonna do tier lists for other pools of maps in the future, and we're probably gonna have to update at some point because god damn it, they're adding so many fucking maps. Let me tell you something. There's going to be a lot more Halo tier lists on this channel than Overwatch ones. Let me tell you that much. So yes, this has been us ranking all the current, as of mid-season 5, quick play maps in Halo Infinite. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more content to come. Like, subscribe, eat a bagel. Do what you do. We'll see you next time. Zeke Freak out. Ciao ciao for now.